Get your shit together. And welcome back for the second game of the Pony Palomino World Series this Saturday here at Veterans Field, Laredo, Texas, featuring your hometown team, Laredo, Texas, and Youngstown, Ohio, last year's champion. We'll be bringing this to you live on YouTube here shortly, off the website, but if you're tuned into YouTube, you can hear us now. Bear with me while I get that set up for those who are following us on the website. And there we go. So this game features two high-powered teams. Laredo winning last night over Taipei. Youngstown, Ohio had the bye. This is their first game of the tournament. And as I said, last year they were the champions. Always have a strong team. On the mound for Youngstown, Ohio will be Corbin Sevick. And his first batter he's going to face is going to be Cito Benavides, the third baseman. Now batting number 6, Cito Benavides. Sevick, the right-handed pitcher facing Benavides, right-handed batter. And that's ball one from Sevick. Corbin Sevick making his debut here. And that's a shot right down the middle. Going to roll into center field for a single for Benavides. If you're joining us, we're at the top of the first. Game just started. First batter, top of the order, was Benavides. And now number 4, Antonio Sanchez. Now batting number 4, Antonio Sanchez. Sanchez is a center fielder. During the introduction, I muffed that one. Called him the catcher, but it is center field, Antonio Sanchez. Facing off against Corbin Sevick with one man on, nobody out. And the bunt, strike one. Sanchez showing bunt. Good small ball, trying to advance the runner to second. 0-1 the count. No outs. Sanchez, the center fielder, had a good game last night as Laredo defeated Chinese Taipei. Benavides at first, good lead. And that's a foul ball going into the trees. Number 10, Corbin Sevick, is your pitcher. Youngstown, Ohio, no stranger to the tournament, last year's champion. Always brings a great team. And that's outside. We have 2 strikes. And I believe 2 balls here. No outs. Runner at first. In the second game this morning. And it is a full count. 3-2. No outs. Runner at first. Sanchez, the center fielder, at the plate. Sevick on the mound, and he's going to walk Sanchez. 2 runners on now. Benavides goes to second. Sanchez goes to first. And coming to the plate is Joey Gomez. Now batting number 13, Joey Gomez. Gomez, left-hander, first baseman, facing the right-hander, Sevic. And that's strike one to Gomez. Two runners on, one at second, one at first, no outs, no runs scored yet. Top of the first, Laredo versus Youngstown, Ohio. Gomez, the first baseman, batting left, also had a good game yesterday in the late game. And this is his first game today. This is game number 2 of Saturday morning. Coming to you live from Veterans Field, LISD's premier facility in Laredo, Texas. Broadcast is brought to you by Southern Sanitation, Southern American live Doppler radar, and swing and a miss for strike 2. Runner at second, runner at first. And we apologize that we don't have the box scores on our screen. We're trying to work that through. A little technical difficulty. Youngstown pitcher Corbin Sevic has a 2-2 count to Gomez. No outs, 2 runners on. Top, and that's a foul ball down third baseline. Top of the first inning in the second game of this Saturday morning. Our scorebox sponsor, Kraus Development, developers and managers of Pinnacle Center and Gateway. And that's a walk. Sevic loading the bases here, walking Gomez. And now your catcher, Juan Carlos Cepeda, coming to the plate. Conversation between Sevic and his team. Coach walking out to the mound. And number 20, Juan Carlos Cepeda, coming to the plate for Laredo. Now batting number 20, Juan Carlos Cepeda. Cepeda, the catcher for Laredo's team, will be facing Corbin Sevic, pitcher for Youngstown, Ohio. Our broadcast sponsor today is Dr. Marte Martinez, Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, with clinics in Laredo and Edinburgh, double board certified pain management doctor and anesthesiologist. Advanced Spine Pain Solution. And here goes Cepeda to the plate. Sevic on the mound. And that's a strike. 0-1 the count. Nobody out, and the bases are loaded here in the top of the first inning. Sevic with a windup. And Cepeda bounces one past the shortstop, as that one took a hop and just went over the glove of the shortstop. 2 runs will score, and Laredo now leads 2-0 here in the top of the first inning. We'll have runners at second and first, and the batter now is going to be Jeremy Gabriel. Now batting number 11, Jeremy Gabriel. And that's a strike to Gabriel. With 2 runners on, 2 runs have already scored here in the top of the first inning. And that's inside. Ball 1. Laredo having a great night last night, winning over Chinese Taipei Youngstown having a bye. I'm sorry. They beat Trnava, Slovakia. My mistake. Taipei played the early game. Trnava, Slovakia, making its appearance for the first time in Laredo, Texas. And that's strike two from Sevic. Excuse me. Gabriel at the plate, the right fielder, has two runners on, no outs, 2-0, top of the first inning. Sevic on the mound, Gabriel at the plate, and that's a foul tip. 2-2 the count. Overcast skies. Don't see any rain in sight just yet, although the Doppler radar does show a little bit of activity just east of Laredo, southeast of Laredo. Live Doppler radar provided by Southern American, the live Doppler, privately owned, collaboration with the city of Laredo. Swing and a miss by Gabriel with a foul tip on that. They are our sponsor, title sponsor, along with their sister company, Southern Sanitation, celebrating 50 years of service. Gabriel, the left-hander at the plate. Sevic, the right-hander on the mound. 2 on, no outs. 3-2 the count now. Laredo leads 2-0 here in the top of half of the frame, first inning. Good game last night by Laredo. And that one's going to... That one got an out at second. Aaron throw to first. Run's going to score. And the runner advances to second. Bad throw by the shortstop over to first, allowing the run to score and the runner at second to advance. He did get to touch the bag, and runner from first to second is out. So we have one out. Number 12 at the plate, Jerry Medina. Now batting number 12, Jerry Medina. Medina, playing in left field today, was your closer last night and your designated hitter. And that's a strike to Medina. With a runner on, 3 runs scored, 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Laredo beating Trnava, Slovakia yesterday. Earlier I said it was Chinese Taipei, but no, there was Trnava, Slovakia, who made their debut here in Laredo yesterday. And Sevic has allowed 3 runs so far, 2 strikes, 1 out. And Medina struck out. Out number 2. Out number 2 with a runner at second. Now batting number 14, Kike Loyola. Now batting number 14, Kike Loyola. Loyola is your second baseman. And Manolo Rangel, coach, is having a conversation with the home plate umpire, B. Roy Reyna. And according to our tortoiseshell glass-wearing game changer, he is warning the batter. Sevic on the mound, Loyola at the plate, and that's a strike. 2 outs, 1 on, 3 runs scored. Here in the top of the first, Laredo leading Youngstown, Ohio, 3-0. And Sevic pitches a ball, 1-1 the count, with 2 out, 1 on, scoring position. They're at second base. Overcast skies, good weather. Here's a chopper. Third baseman is charging hard, and the throw's in time, and that is out number 3. Third baseman for Youngstown, Ohio, Brady McGivney. and it looks like it's McGive. I'm going to try to, or McGuire. There we are. I'm sorry, it's McGuire. Some of the handwriting here could be passed for doctors. A prescription could be written with this handwriting. Apologize as I try to get these names right. No worries. I did the game yesterday for Chinese Taipei, and I think I did okay. They didn't come up here and wring my neck for mispronunciations. And so here we go. Bottom of the first inning. Youngstown, Ohio will be coming up to bat. Thank you to our sponsors, the great city of Laredo, the county of Webb, Laredo Parks and Recreation for all of their hard work, Laredo Convention and Visitors Bureau, also the Laredo City Council, Honorable Mayor Dr. Victor Trevino, and all the council members for their support of the Pony World Series. And some of our great sponsors, 24/7 News, the Laredo Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic, the law firm of Whitworth Cigarroa, Line Decker Construction, La Posada Hotel, Laredo's only four-diamond hotel, Rotex Truck Center, Andy's Mobility, Andy's Auto Air, Sunbelt Air Conditioning. So, apologize as we try to get our lineups here ready. Pitcher for Laredo, Arturo Garcia, number 21, will be facing the first batter, Brady McGuire, the third baseman. And at some point, I'll make sure I get all of these names for the Youngstown team. Now batting number 19, Brady McGuire. On the mound for Laredo is Arturo Garcia. They lead Youngstown, Ohio here in the bottom of the first, 3-0. Youngstown, Ohio, last year's champion. Catcher for Laredo is Juan Carlos Cepeda. Garcia on the mound, McGuire at the plate. Nobody on, no outs. First batter, top of the order. And he takes strike one from Garcia. Laredo managed to score a couple runs on errant throws. Youngstown, Ohio, trailing now 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. And McGuire sends one to third base. The third baseman, with an exceptional defensive play, grabs the ball diving to his left, and while seated, manages to throw the runner, McGuire, out at first. Outstanding play. Now batting number 1, Tyler Skeen. Tyler Skeen, the shortstop for Youngstown, Ohio, facing Arturo Garcia, the pitcher for Laredo. McGuire grounded out to first. Great defensive play by the third baseman, Benavides. And Skeen takes strike one from Garcia. Our sponsors, Otila Restaurant. Great reviews for that restaurant so far. And that is strike two to Skeen. Garcia on the mound. Live Doppler provided by Southern American. Take a quick peek there. Looks like everything looks good. No precipitation. Overcast skies, about 85 degrees, warming up a little bit. And Garcia, coming off the mound, stumbles a bit. Can tie his shoe. 0-2 the count, 1 out. And the coach wants to come out and check. Home plate umpire, E. Roy Reyna. Allowing the coach to take a quick peek over at the mound. As he was coming off the rubber there, he stumbled a bit. May have been his shoelaces, may have been the mound. So number one, Tyler Skeen, the shortstop, has an 0-2 count with one out here in the bottom of the first. The Pony Palomino World Series live from Laredo, Texas, Veterans Field. Thank you to our host here, Laredo Independent School District, Athletic Director Luis Escamilla. Our good friends over at United Independent School District hosting games at the Bill Johnson Student Activity Center, the SAC as it is affectionately known. And Skeen pops one over to foul ball over the first base. Thank you to UISD and their folks. Athletic Director Bobby Cruz and his staff. New superintendent over there, Jerry Cruz. Garcia with the pitch. And Skeen shoots one down the third base line and just foul. Bounces over the fence. Good shot by Skeen. Drifted to the left and went foul. 1-2 the count, one out. Nobody on. Youngstown, Ohio trailing 3-0 here at the bottom of the first inning. Pony Palomino World Series live action. With Garcia on the mound, Skeen at the plate. And the windup. And that's high. And 2-2 the count to Skeen. Catcher appealing to the first base ump on that check. No go. 2-2, one out. Tyler Skeen at the plate. And he almost takes one. Scoreboard not reading the right pitch count. That was a 3-2 and the ball going over his head, so that's a walk for Tyler Skeen. Now batting number 7, Tommy Cordy. Now batting number 7, Tommy Cordy. Cordy, the center fielder for Youngstown, Ohio, with a runner at first, one out. Garcia on the windup, and that's a strike. This game got started just a little late. Last game ending a little late. Mexico, Hermosillo, Mexico against Roma, Illinois, Roma Park. And that's a high fly ball, shallow center fielder's under it, and that is out number 2. Tyler Skeen, shortstop, flying out to center field. Runner at first, 2 outs, and stepping up to the plate, number 52, Mason Petrudis. Now batting number 52, Mason Petrudis. Petrudis, the first baseman. Batting cleanup here. Takes strike 1 from Garcia. We have a runner at first. We have 2 outs. We have Garcia on the mound, and we've got Petrudis at the plate. Here in the bottom of the first inning in the second game this morning, here at Pony Palomino World Series action. Foul ball. Broadcast brought to you by Liquid Studio Group. Our good sponsors, Blue Top Reprographics, Box Score Kraus Development, Live Doppler Radar by Southern American, and our title sponsor, Southern Sanitation, celebrating 50 years of service. And that one's in the dirt, and runner's going to steal. McGuire takes second base with 1-2 count on the batter, 2 outs, trailing 3-0 the bottom of the first. Mason Petrudis, first baseman, at the plate with a runner in scoring position as Garcia looks in. Petrudis takes the time, steps out of the box, rethinks his position, looks over to the coach, gets a little instruction, and now he's back in the box. Waiting on Garcia. Runner at second. 1-2 the count. And that's a shot in the left field. The left fielder is going back to the track. And that is out number 3. Petrudis getting close to the fence there. Backs up the left fielder into the track for out number 3. And that ends the first inning. And we'll be right back after these commercial messages from our sponsors. So we're going to go to commercial in a little bit, but we want to bring the live Doppler radar to you. Yes. Brought to you by our good friends at Southern American. As you can see, that Doppler's got a little bit of rain over to the east of us, but nothing here in Laredo, Texas. Still dry, although we are anticipating rain according to the forecast. But our great live Doppler radar says not yet, not here. Quick story, some background on this live Doppler radar and why it's so important to us. For the longest time, Laredo sat in an uncovered area, so to speak. Doppler was brought to us from Corpus Christi or from Del Rio. And because of line of sight and curvatures of the earth, a gap existed here over Laredo where storms that were under 10,000 feet were not detected until they were on top of us. And this live Doppler radar helps cover that gap, and now we can see those storms rolling in, and we can stay ahead of the weather by following the Southern American live Doppler radar displayed on YouTube. And here we go, top of the second inning, Laredo at the plate, number 9, Valentin Barrios. Now batting number 9, Valentin Barrios. Barrios, your designated hitter, grounds to second base, and out at first for out number 1. Pitching for Youngstown, Ohio, Corbin Sevick. Had a good conversation with Corbin's dad a little earlier. Want to make sure we pronounced his name correctly.
Who hit the ball right now?
And so number 9, Barrios, grounds out to second base. And number 1's coming to the plate, Ramon de Alba. Now batting number 1, Ramon de Alba. And that is wide right. Low, outside, 1 out. Number 1, Ramon de Alba. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count, 1 out, nobody on. The leadoff, Barrios, grounding out to second for out number 1. And that's a chopper to the pitcher. And nicely thrown back to first, out number 2. So the Alba hits a chopper back to the mound and is thrown out at first, recording out number 2. The pitcher, Corbin Sevick, making the throw to first base. And now number 6, top of the order, Cito Benavides, coming to the plate. Now batting number 6, Cito Benavides. Benavides, the speedster, made it across the plate in the first inning. Third baseman, great defensive play in that last frame. Diving to his left, and while seated, managed to throw the first to first base and get the runner out. Sevick with a windup. And a shot to shortstop. Shortstop able to get it. the Speedy Benavides, not able to make it to first base, out number 3, and that retires the first half, of the second inning as we go to the bottom of the second. And we'll be right back after this commercial break. For 50 years, Southern Sanitation has been managing the waste disposal needs of the city of Laredo and the surrounding communities, doing its part in helping keep the community clean. Call Southern Sanitation at 956-723-3333 and let us help you manage all your waste disposal needs. Southern Sanitation, celebrating 50 years of service. Come back. All right, bottom of the second. Laredo leading 3-0. And the first batter up for Youngstown, Ohio is number 26, Ben Miller, the designated hitter. Now batting number 26, Ben Miller. Miller, the designated hitter, facing off against Arturo Garcia, pitching for Laredo. Down 3-0. And that's strike one. Apologize for some of the technical difficulties we've had this morning. Trying to work some of those bugs out. Pitcher Arturo Garcia facing the designated hitter, Miller. Miller swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Nobody on. No outs. Miller leading off here. The designated hitter. And that's a ball. 1-2 the count. Youngstown, Ohio, last year's champion, traveling all the way down to try to defend their crown. And that's ball 2. 2-2 the count. Laredo losing to Youngstown last year in dramatic fashion in the last inning, the last at bat, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Jack Lute, who's celebrating his birthday, shot one down the line, rolled it all the way to the wall, 3-run score, and Youngstown, Ohio won. The count here is 3-2. No out, nobody on. Miller at the plate. Garcia on the mound. As action for the 2024 Palomino World Series continues with Miller walking to first. Coming to the plate, number 12, Nick Pareto. Now batting number 12, Nick Pareto. Looks like an O, Parado. Garcia, looks like an O, that's Parado. My apologies, I'll get through this handwriting just a little bit. Garcia on the mound. Foul ball down third baseline by Parado. Nick Parado, the second baseman for Youngstown, Ohio, has a runner at first, Ben Miller, who walked to first. No outs. Runner at first. Parado at the plate. And Garcia wants to check Miller at the first bag. Bottom of the second inning here, second game of the morning, Saturday morning. It is now midday here in Laredo, Texas. 12:30. Sun is high in the sky under overcast skies. Temperature is rising a little bit. Laredo at the plate. And a grounder that gets past the third baseman into left field. And a single for Pareto. Advancing Miller to second. And now number 2 coming to the plate. Now batting number 2, Aiden Leander. Gosh. Let's go here. Sorry about that. Aiden Leander, the left fielder. And I think it's Leandeco. That's going to drop right behind the second baseman. Here comes the runner to home, and there is no play. He's safe. Safe at home. Runners on the corner, and Youngstown, Ohio is on the board. The catcher trying to make that tag. Good throw from right field as that ball dropped right between the right fielder and the second baseman. Shallow right. And now no outs, runners on the corners, and 1 run has scored. Number 21, Blake Jeffries, coming to the mound. Number 21, Blake Jeffries, the right fielder, Blake Jeffries out at the plate. Jeffries, a right fielder, number 21. Patiently waiting for the Laredo team, having a conversation with their pitcher, Arturo Garcia. Leading Youngstown right now, 3-1. Bottom of the second, we have 1 run scored, runners at the corners. And Blake Jeffries stepping into the batter's box as the home plate umpire, Roy Reyna, starts the action. 3-1 Laredo, bottom of the second inning here at Veterans Field. The windup, and that's a strike. 0-1 the count with a runner at third, a runner at first. Run just scored. 3-1. Here at a game brought to you by Southern Sanitation. The runner goes, and he's gonna take second base. So now we've got runners in scoring position, third and second. 1-1 the count, no outs. Laredo still leading 3-1 here at the bottom of the second. Southern Sanitation celebrating 50 years of service. Inaugural year, 1974. Swing and a miss by number 21, Jeffries, for 1-2. 1974, 11 years old when that company opened its doors. Arturo Garcia on the mound with 2 runners on, third and second. And he strikes out Jeffries for out number 1. And so now walking to the plate, number 43, Wes Conville. Number 43, Wes Conville. The pitcher, Arturo Garcia, facing Wes Conville, the catcher, for Youngstown, Ohio, with runners on third and second. And that ball's in the dirt. Catcher Sanchez, the catcher Cepeda, keeping that in front of him. Runners at third and second. 1-0 the count, 1 out. Bottom of the second. Conville at the plate. Garcia on the mound. And he wants to think this over. Steps out of the batter's box for second. Good baseball weather today. YouTube live stream being brought to you by Liquid Studio Group. swing, strike one. 1-1 the count. Great sponsors, Otilas Restaurant. Great reviews, just opened fine dining on Del Mar Boulevard here in Laredo, Texas. Playmore Family Entertainment, the Vela family. That's outside. 2-1 the count. Playmore, brand new facility, about 5 years old. Great place for family entertainment, bowling, arcades, great restaurant. Got to see on the mound facing Conville, the catcher. And that's inside. 3-1 the count. 1 out. Runners at third and second. Here in the bottom of the second. Live from Veterans Field, LISD's Crown Jewel Athletic Facility. Thank you to our host, Laredo Independent School District. That's a foul ball. And our good friend, the athletic director, Luis Escamilla, and his crew. Shout out to UISD as well, hosting games at the Bill Johnson Student Activity Center, the SAC. UISD and their crew, athletic director Bobby Cruz and his team. Thank you. Our sponsors here include the City of Laredo, the County of Webb, and Parks and Rec. And that's a walk. So Conville gets a walk, and that'll bring up number 10. I'm sorry, number 19, Brady McGuire. Now batting number 19, Brady McGuire. McGuire, the third baseman for the Youngstown, Ohio team, has bases loaded with 1 out. Facing the right-hander Garcia. And a swing foul tip. 0-1 the count. Right-hander McGuire has bases loaded, just 1 out. And is trying to drive some runs home. 3-1. We've got 1 run that scored earlier. And bases are now loaded with Conville taking a walk prior to McGuire coming to the plate. And a shot by McGuire deep in the left field. And holy chimichanga, that one's gone. Grand slam by Brady McGuire, the third baseman. Oh my. And the Youngstown team erupts in cheers as that one just sailed over that 320-foot wall over there. It's 320 feet to that section for a grand slam. Brady McGuire with a long ball. And so now the score, 5-3, with McGuire driving in 4. 3 runs. 4 come across the plate. 5-3, Ohio. And just like that, 1 out, nobody on. After this grand slam, Youngstown, Ohio leads 5-3. Number 1, Tyler Skeen at the plate. Now batting number 1, Tyler Skeen. Skeen, the shortstop for Ohio, takes ball 1. 1-1 the count, 1 out, nobody on. Bases were just cleared by a home run, grand slam by Brady McGuire. Strike 2 to Skeen. As Youngstown, Ohio takes the lead, 5-3 here, the bottom of the second inning. And strike 3, out number 2. Skeen, the shortstop, strikes out. And that'll bring up number 7, Tommy Cordy, the center fielder. Now batting number 7, Tommy Cordy. Cordy coming up to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on after a base-clearing grand slam by Brady McGuire, the third baseman. Garcia on the mound. Delivers strike 1. Tommy Cordy, Youngstown, Ohio, trying to get on base and add to their lead, if at all possible, before this frame ends. And that's a foul ball. And Garcia on the mound. Cordy at the plate. Swing, strike 3, and that retires the side for Youngstown, Ohio. Laredo trailing now 5-3 after a grand slam by Brady McGuire over the left field wall, about 325 feet down that line. And so we'll be right back after this commercial break. And we're back. Antonio Sanchez at the plate. Sevic on the mound. 0-2 the count here. Sanchez, the leadoff batter. As Laredo trails Youngstown, Ohio, 5-3. Foul ball. After a base-clearing grand slam by Brady McGuire, the third baseman, Laredo now trails. Garcia, the pitcher, giving up that 325-foot home run over the left field wall. And that's a foul ball. Sailing over the head of our cameraman over there. Camera crew, press crew here from Liquid Studio Group. And that ball's going to hit Sanchez, and he's going to first base. Our producer, Marisol Suarez, director, Carla Sanchez, camera crew, Josh, Jaden, Jose, and Ruth, and our executive, Aleida Garcia. And that's ball one. Number 13, Joey Gomez. Now batting number 13, Joey Gomez. Gomez, the first baseman, left-handed batter, takes one inside for ball 2. 2-0 the count. No outs, runner at first. Laredo trailing 3-5. Top of the third inning. Pony Palomino World Series action, and that's a foul ball down the third baseline. Going out of the field of play. Going out of the field of play there. Gomez, the left-handed first baseman, facing off against Corbin Sevick, pitcher for Youngstown, Ohio. First base is occupied. Runner at first. And a shot right over the shortstop. Rolls into center left. Center fielder holding the runner at second. Sorry, left fielder holding the runner at second. For a single by Gomez. Number 20 coming to the plate, Juan Carlos Cepeda. Now batting number 20, Juan Carlos Cepeda. Cepeda, the catcher for Laredo, will step into the box with nobody out, 2 men on, one at second, one at first. Trailing Youngstown, Ohio, 3-5 here in the top of the third inning in the second game this Saturday morning. Or this Saturday, now we're past the morning. Number 20 had a great game yesterday as Laredo beat Trnava, Slovakia in the latter game, the night game, after the opening ceremonies. That's a ball. Sevick, the pitcher for Youngstown, Ohio. Youngstown, Ohio leading 5-3 after a home run by Brady McGuire that cleared the bases. And 20 is going to walk after being hit by a pitch. So now bases are loaded for Laredo. Sevick is going to face number 11, Jeremy Gabriel, the right fielder. Now batting number 11, Jeremy Gabriel. The right fielder, batting left-handed, squares off against Corbin Sevick with bases loaded and nobody out here at the top of the third inning. And as he steps into the plate, into the box at the plate, a shot down the third baseline, foul. Oh, but that was close. And so now, a little reset here. Apologize for the sirens racing by here. Sevick on the mound. Swing and a miss by Gabriel. 0-2 the count, nobody out, bases are loaded, top of the third, trailing 3-5, Laredo threatening. Sevick trying to keep them out of home. And that is strike 3. Gabriel goes back to the dugout. First out recorded. Strikeout by Sevick. And now Jerry Medina steps up. Now batting number 12, Jerry Medina. Medina was your designated hitter yesterday. Today he's in left field. And that's ball one. Medina, a D1 prospect going to University of Houston, played his high school ball at Laredo United. And Sevick winds, and that's ball two to Medina with bases loaded and only one out. Ohio leading 5-3 here at the top of the third. Sevick still on the mound, starting pitcher. And a little blooper. Oh, and the first baseman took his foot off the bag, which allowed Medina to drive a run in and reach first base safely. And so now Laredo adds a run, trailing 4-5 now with bases loaded, one out. And Kike Loyola, the second baseman, at the plate. And a shot down to center field, and that's going to drop. And the runners are all safe. Run scores. Now batting number 9, Valentin Barrios. So a single to center field by Loyola scores a run, and the teams are now tied here at Veterans Field as Barrios tries to add to that run count. Bases still loaded. 1-0 the count, 1 out. Top of the third. Oh, and Sevic hits Barrios right in the helmet, and that'll score another run.
We heard that up here.
That whack on the head was heard all the way up here on that protective gear.
Here's a game changer.
Game changer over here. Got scared out of his seat. And number 1, Ramon de Alba is coming up to bat. Now batting number 1, Ramon de Alba. De Alba is the shortstop. Laredo leads 6-5 with bases loaded. After a hit batter marches to first. Run scores. And number 1, de Alba, squares off against Sevic with bases loaded in the top of the third. Squeeze bunt, and that is strike 1. Looking for that squeeze. De Alba showing bunt with bases loaded. Sevic the windup, and strike 2. 1-2 the count to De Alba. Broadcast brought to you by Southern Sanitation, celebrating 50 years of service. Southern American Live Doppler Radar. And our box score sponsor, Kraus Development. 2-2 the count with bases loaded and 1 out. Dr. Marte A. Martinez, broadcast sponsor. The windup. And a grounder to third. And an attempted force out at home. The third baseman hits the runner in the head and allows 2 runs to score. A run to score. 2 runs to score, yes. Runners now at the corner. 2 runs come across the plate. 8-5. Errant throw by the third baseman, who charged hard, got the grounder, but then threw it and hit the back of the head of the runner, allowing 2 runs to come in. Coach is coming out to talk to his catcher. Looks like he might have gotten hurt on that play. Number 6, top of the order, Cito Benavides coming up to bat. Now batting number 6, Cito Benavides. Benavides, the third baseman, will have runners at the corners with 1 out as they extend their lead 8-5 here in the top of the third inning. And mostly errors that have allowed these runs to score in the top of the frame. Sevic now has runners on the corners and is facing Benavides, top of the order, and it's a hit and run, and Benavides skips one into center right, and the runner is thrown out. Number 1, Ramon de Alba, is picked off by the center fielder, who threw that all the way in to the catcher and was able to pick off number 1, De Alba, for out number 2. But a run scores, and so now Laredo leads 9-5 here in the top of the third inning after 6 runs have come in this inning. Nice hit there and a hit and run by Benavides, the third baseman, the leadoff batter, top of the order. Now batting number 4, Antonio Sanchez, the center fielder. Now batting number 4, Antonio Sanchez. Sanchez trying to drive in the runner he's got at second with 2 outs here at the top of the third. Sevic throws that one inside, whistled by the eyebrows of Sanchez. Runner at second. 6 runs have scored in this inning, and Sevic is trying to close it out. And that's a blooper that's going to drop into right field. The right fielder's going to fire it home. One hops it to the catcher, holds the runner at third. Nice throw by the right fielder to keep the runner from scoring, but now you've got runners at the corners. Runner at first, runner at third, and number 13, Joey Gomez, is up to bat. Now batting number 13, Joey Gomez. Gomez batting left-handed against a right-handed Sevic. Youngstown, Ohio, trailing 5-9 here. Strike 1 to Gomez. Sevic on the mound from the start has given up 9 runs. Vast majority of those came from errors, though. And ball 1. 1-1 the count, 2 outs, runners on the corners, top of the third. And Joey Gomez, the first baseman, is at the plate trying to add to the lead here. And that's inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here at the top of the third, Veterans Field, 2024 Pony Palomino World Series. A little tongue twister there. And that's a strike. Nice breaking ball by Sevic. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, 2 runners on. 1 in scoring position here at third, another at first. As Laredo tries to extend its lead. And a grounder short. And out at first. That retires the side, but not before half a dozen runs come in. And now Laredo leads 9-5 as we take a short pause here to thank our sponsors. And we'll be right back. Okay, here we go. And we're back. Number 52, Mason Petrudis, the first baseman, coming up to bat. At the plate, number 52, Mason Petrudis. And we just gave out a ceremonial baseball to Brady McGuire for his grand slam. Abel Gorena, tournament director, handing that to Mr. McGuire. And that's a high fly ball, infield. Third baseman's getting under it. And that is out number one. Mason Petrudis flying out here. For out number one at the bottom of the third, Ben Miller is coming to the plate, the designated hitter. Now batting number 26, Ben Miller. Ben Miller facing off against Arturo Garcia, trying to get his team back in front as they had a brief lead in the last inning. We're leading 5-3, and all of a sudden Laredo adds half a dozen, and it's 9-5 here in the bottom of the third. 0-1 the count, one out. And that's strike two. Garcia firing it in there. Number 26, Ben Miller, is a designated hitter for Youngstown, Ohio. And that's low and outside. Laredo trying to avenge last year's loss to Youngstown. Youngstown winning in dramatic fashion in the last at-bat. Bases loaded, 3-2 the count, and Jack Lute smashed a 3-run triple to dash the hopes of the Laredo team, and Youngstown went on to win the championship last year. Ben Miller's got a 2-2 count with one out, nobody on, and that's high. Full count. Last year's championship game was played at Unitrade. It'll be played here at Veterans Field on Monday. Ben Miller, trying to get on base here, is going to walk to first. Garcia walking him. The Laredo faithful not happy with that call. The coach, pretty well animated over there by the dugout, did not like that call at all. Kind of animated for a certified public accountant, Manolo Rangel, mild-mannered certified public accountant. A little upset with the call. So a runner at first, one out, bottom of the third, and Garcia on the mound delivers a ball to Nick Parado. Now batting number 12, Nick Parado. Parado is your second baseman for Youngstown, Ohio. And we'll look at YouTube's comments and see if we're pronouncing these names right. If you're out there at Youngstown, Ohio, give me a hand so I make sure I got these names pronounced correctly for you. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, 1 man on, bottom of the third, and a swing and a miss by Parado. As Youngstown, Ohio trails Laredo 9-5. Getting a little warm out there. Sun is peering through the clouds, overcast skies. We are anticipating rain. We're monitoring our live Doppler radar, brought to you by Southern American, privately owned Doppler radar. Southern American providing that for us from the second year of sponsorship for Pony. The pitcher, Garcia, has a 3-1 count to the batter, and he's going to, strike 2. Batter thought he had a walk, but Parado still at the plate. 3-2 count, 1 out. Runner at first, Ben Miller. And Garcia trying to add another out. Miller jumping back to first base safely. Garcia checking his runner. Nick Parado, the second baseman for Youngstown, at the plate. with a runner at first. And that's strike three. And Parado thought he had a walk. But B. Roy Reyna had other thoughts and sent him to the dugout. So strikeout for Garcia has 2 outs now. And a runner at first. And number 2, Adrian Landeco. And I'm hoping I got that right. The writing here could rival any doctor's. I've had prescriptions that I could read that were easier. Now batting number 2, Aiden Landeco. And a balk called on Garcia, advancing Miller to second with Landeco, the left fielder, Aiden Landeco, number 2 at the plate. So the infield wants to have a chit-chat with their pitcher while the coach talks to the second base umpire. Not sure what the exchange is about. But here we are, bottom of the third. Runner at second. Landeco at the plate. Garcia on the mound. Laredo leading 9-5. In the second day of Pony Palomino World Series action, live from Laredo, Texas, Veterans Field, home of the mighty Martin Tigers. Once a Tiger, always a Tiger. Warm day, overcast skies. Doppler radar says we've got a little rain just outside of town, but nothing here, so we're good. And action continues. Garcia facing Landeco. And he takes ball 1. So 2 outs. Runner at second. 1-0 the count. Garcia winds and throws strike 1. So Landeco 1-1 the count. 2 outs. Here at the bottom of the third. And Youngstown has had a great run when they come down to Laredo. But they are struggling right now, trailing Laredo 9-5. But never count Youngstown out. They have had some magic on these fields. And that is a ball 2-1. Looking like the Laredo crowd did not like that one at all. But from where I was, that looked like a ball. But then again, I'm wearing glasses. And that's a foul ball. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, runner at second. So a runner at 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the third. Aiden Landeco, number 2, the left fielder, at the plate, facing the right-hander Garcia. And that's going to be a ball. Full count here, 3-2. With a runner in scoring position, number 2, Aiden Landeco, trying to drive a run home to close the gap as they are trailing 5-9 here in the bottom of the third. Oh, Landeco trying to kind of duck that one, stuck the bat out, tipped it foul over to the first base side. Rattling the fence there by the dugout. Broadcast brought to you by our box sponsor, Kraus Development. Bert Kraus, AJ Kraus, Tyler Kraus, and his crew. Managers of Pinnacle Center and Gateway. New Industrial Park just outside of Laredo. With all the big city amenities and none of the big city taxes. Great place to start your business, build a warehouse. Foul ball. Well, you can go to Pinnacle. Now Mines Road, close to World Trade Bridge. Laredo being the largest inland port, the largest port by volume in the nation, outpacing Long Beach, California, and New York. Chicago, Houston, and New Orleans. Highest grossing customs district as well. More volume comes through here. More trade happens through Laredo than any other port on the southern border, and that is going to be a walk. Aiden Lendeco heads to first, the left fielder, and now number 21, Blake Jeffries, is coming to the plate. Now batting number 21, Blake Jeffries. And a little voice change there as I do the PA announcement. Doing double duty here today. Have not been able to find anyone who wants to sit in the press box and call a game. I've got good friends out there, Orlando Navarro, who played baseball in college. Said he was watching Willy Wonka. Couldn't make it. But we'll get somebody here shortly. Somebody will come in. This is the last game before we break for the evening. And we'll be back for 2 games this evening here. And a grounder to short. And force out at second, and that ends the inning, ends the threat. No runs scored. 2 runners left stranded. Laredo 9, Youngstown, Ohio 5. And we'll be right back. Here we go. Top of the 4th. Number 20, Juan Carlos Cepeda, leading off. And he almost gets it. We've had a pitching change. Zyler Friedman coming in for Corbin Sevick, who's exited after 3. And that is 2 balls, no strikes. Number 20, Carlos Cepeda, the catcher, is, and that's a fly ball out. Out number 1, Cepeda fly balling out to third baseman. And we finally had some folks from Ohio come in here and help me with the names. Leindecker. Number 2 is Leindecker. Leindecker here is spelled Leyendcker. Over here, it's spelled with an E and an I. And that's a ball outside to number 11, Jeremy Gabriel. Now batting number 11, Jeremy Gabriel. Gabriel, the left-hander, facing the new pitcher, Zyler Friedman. Thank you to those great folks from Youngstown, Ohio, helping us out with the pronunciations. And that's a strike. 2-1 to Gabriel. Friedman in relief of Corbin Sevick, who pitched 3 innings. Here we are, top of the 4th. And that's 3-1 with 1 out. Juan Carlos Cepeda, shallow fly ball to third for the first out. And Gabriel's going to walk. So we have a runner at first, and we've got number 12, Jerry Medina, coming to the plate. Now batting number 12, Jerry Medina, Jerry Medina, the right fielder, left fielder, is a D1 prospect. Pitcher on the mound now is Zyler Friedman. Zyler Friedman coming in for Sevick with a runner on. 1 out. And Jerry Medina at the plate. Friedman throws the ball. 2-0 the count, 1 out. As I was saying earlier, Linedecker spelled a little different here. Thank you to our good friends from Youngstown, Ohio. Ball 3, 3-0 the count, 1 out, 1 runner on. Jerry Medina at the plate. The left fielder facing the relief pitcher that just came in, Zyler Friedman. And he walks him. This is his second walk. So now we have runners at second and first. And we've got Kike Loyola coming to the plate. Now batting number 14, Kike Loyola. Wes Conville, the catcher, walking to the mound to have a conversation with his pitcher, his relief pitcher, trying to calm him down. Trailing by just 4 runs, and if you know Youngstown, Ohio, they're full of magic. 4 runs can be erased pretty quickly. Zyler Friedman pitching to Kike Loyola, the second baseman, with 2 runners on and 1 out. Delivers strike 1 to him. Just about no wind. I'm looking out at the stars and stripes out there, not blowing too much in the wind. And that's outside. Conville doing a good job of leaning right and keeping that from getting past him. 2 runners on, second and first. Loyola at the plate. Friedman on the mound. And he wanted to go at that one, but he didn't. That's ball 2. 2-1 the count. 1 out. Here in the top of the 4th with 2 runners on. And a pitching change happening in this inning. Oh, and that is infield, high fly ball. And the pitcher, Friedman, registers out number 2. And now we've got runners at second and first, 2 outs, and number 9, Valentin Barrios, coming to the plate. Now batting number 9, Valentin Barrios. Barrios is your designated hitter. I think took one in the head right off the helmet in the last inning. Laredo leading 9-5 here in the top of the 4th inning. But never count Youngstown, Ohio out. They are last year's defending champion. And if you saw last year's game, you can watch that on YouTube. Take a look at what Jack Lute does in the last inning, last at bat, bases loaded, full count, as Youngstown overcame a hometown team, Laredo, to enter into the championship game and take the championship. Friedman on the mound. Swing and a miss to Barrios. 0-2 the count, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Friedman trying to close the door here on Laredo to keep them from adding to their lead, in relief of Corbin Sevick, who pitched the first 3 innings. And out number 3 with a strikeout. Nicely done by Zyler Friedman. 3 outs, 2 runners left on base, no run score, and in the bottom of the 4th, we go. 9-5, Laredo leading Youngstown, Ohio. And we'll be right back. And we're here at the bottom of the 4th. Second game of this beautiful Saturday. Started off with game early this morning at Hermosillo, Mexico, beating Aroma Park, Illinois in the early game. Gave up my Saturday morning cartoons to call that one. And here we are, bottom of the 4th. Garcia still on the mound, pitching to the left-handed batter for Youngstown. Looks like number 13. I'm trying to make sure I get that number right as he turns. 1-0 the count to the batter. Trying to figure out who our batter is here. Garcia. Why is it number 17? That's Kalen Durbin, who's come into the game. Kalen Durbin coming off the bench to enter the field. First time up. And strikeout for Durbin. Garcia fanning him, sending him to the dugout, and here comes number 19, top of the order, Brady McGuire, the third baseman. And the last time this young man was in this spot, he knocked one 325 feet over the left field fence, cleared the bases, grand slam, and somewhere along the way we gave him a souvenir baseball presented by the director, Abel Gorena, for that hit. Swing and a miss by McGuire. That grand slam gave Youngstown, Ohio a brief lead, but it unraveled for them in the next frame. Laredo scoring 6 runs, and now they lead 9-5. And that's strike 3 for McGuire. 2 outs now. Garcia starting to take control here. Strikes out McGuire. Tyler Skeen, the shortstop, coming to the plate. Now batting number 1, Tyler Skeen. Tyler Skeen facing Garcia, who's starting to get a little control here. Held Ohio scoreless in the last frame and is trying to do the same here. Delivers strike 1 to Skeen. Tyler Skeen is the shortstop for the Youngstown team. And he takes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 4th. Laredo leading 9-5. Here at Veterans Field, games brought to you by Southern Sanitation, celebrating 50 years of service. And that's a foul ball. Bouncing out of play. 1-2 the count, 2 outs. We've been watching our Doppler radar, owned and operated by Southern American. Live Doppler radar, privately owned, in collaboration with the city of Laredo Emergency Management Group. And that is strike 3. Garcia definitely in control here as he strikes out the batters. 1, 2, 3. And so we go to the top of the 5th inning. Laredo leading 9-5. Time to thank our sponsors once again. Not possible without them. We'll be right back. Here at the top of the 5th inning, Laredo leading 9-5 over Youngstown, Ohio. And number 12, I can't see that number, but it looks like 12 at the plate. And he takes a strike. That's number 2, who has come in. Number 2 for Laredo is Peter Paliso. Now batting number 2, Peter Paliso. Paliso, whose name I absolutely destroyed yesterday by accident. And he fly ball into right field that drops for a single. Manolo Rangel, the accountant, could have been a doctor. His script was pretty bad, and I could not read that name well. And so when I first got a chance to correct it, I did. I felt so bad for Mr. Paliso. But he's now on first. No outs. Here in the top of the 5th inning. and that's wide outside. Number 6, the top of the order for Laredo, Cito Benavides at the plate. Now batting number 6, Cito Benavides. Pitcher for Youngstown, Ohio is Zyler Friedman, who came in relief of Corbin Sevick. And that's a blooper into left field. Here comes the right fielder coming to get it. Sorry, right fielder charging hard, gets it. Held the runner at first. That looked like it was going to drop, but the right fielder for Youngstown, Ohio, Blake Jeffries, charging hard, grabbing that before it dropped on the ground. So 1 out, 1 runner on, and number 4, Antonio Sanchez, is at the plate with Zyler Friedman throwing a high fastball. Now batting number 4, Antonio Sanchez. As I do double duty here as PA announcer and your broadcaster. Runner at first, 1 out, and strike 1 to Sanchez. 1-1 the count, 1 out, 1 runner on. In the top of the 5th on this beautiful Saturday, overcast skies, little warm, about 90 degrees, which in Laredo is sweater weather. Usually in the hundreds here during this time of the year. Approaching the dog days of summer, Laredo can be one hot place. We hold the record for the most days over 100. And number 4, Sanchez takes a 2-2 count with 1 out, runner at first here in the top of the 5th. City of Laredo, County of Webb, big sponsors helped us put this together. And the ball gets past the catcher, Wes Conville, allowing the runner, Benavides, to advance to second. Zyler Friedman coming in relief of Corbin Sevick. And that's a walk to Sanchez. Number 4, walk into first base. Followed now by number 13, Joey Gomez. Now batting number 13, Joey Gomez. Gomez batting left-handed, facing the right-handed Zyler Friedman with 2 runners on, 1 out in the top of the 5th. Laredo leading 9-5 here at Veterans Field, and that one's in the dirt. Thank you to the City of Laredo's Parks and Recreation Department for all of their help, the grounds crew, all of their staff, LISD for their grounds crew and their athletic department, Luis Escamilla. And the pitcher gets that one. That looked a little odd as he stumbled over the mound. Backpedaling, grabs that chopper, throws him out at first. Runners advance to third and second, and we've got 2 outs. And Laredo is threatening again to add to their lead. Number 20, Juan Carlos Cepeda, the catcher, stepping into the box. Now batting number 20, Juan Carlos Cepeda. So with 2 runners on, 2 outs, Cepeda faces Zyler Friedman for the first time, and he takes ball 1 from him. On deck is number 11, Jeremy Gabriel, the right fielder. Cepeda, the catcher, with 2 runners on in the top of the 5th. And that's a grounder to third. And he's going to tag the runner to end the inning. No runs scored. Runner left stranded. And Laredo continues to lead 9-5. We've come to the bottom of the fifth. And we'll take a quick break to thank our sponsors. So we are back here at the bottom of the fifth inning. Laredo leading Youngstown, Ohio, 9-5. Number 7, Tommy Cordy, the center fielder, coming to bat. Now batting number 7, Tommy Cordy. Want to shout out to our sponsors, the Laredo Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic, LSMC. Good doctors over there, Dr. Puig, Dr. Solis, Dr. Cowalter. Great staff, Irene Esparza over as well. Physical therapy, physician's assistants. They've got them all over there. 2 locations to serve you as well, Bartlett and Springfield. Cordy, your center fielder, will be facing Garcia, who started off the game and has kept Ohio scoreless the last 2 innings. He did give up a grand slam to Brady McGuire in the second. That ball sailing 325 feet over the left field wall, giving Youngstown, Ohio a brief lead that has been recaptured by Laredo. Here 9-5 in the bottom of the fifth. Garcia facing off with Tommy Cordy, center fielder, and he delivers ball 1. Our good friends at La Posada, the only 4 Diamond Hotel, thank you for their hospitality, their guest rooms for our VIPs.
Yeah.
Foul ball going over ahead. Even Hector at Game Changer stayed at La Posada. I'm not sure how security let him through. Our good friends over at Rotex Truck Center. And that's a high fly ball into left field. Left fielder's backing up. Got it. There's out number 1. Tommy Cordy flying out to the left fielder, Jerry Medina. And that's going to bring up number 52, Mason Petrudis. Now batting number 52, Mason Petrudis. Petrudis, the first baseman, has 1 out as his team trails here in the bottom of the fifth. with Garcia still on the mound doing yeoman's work. Mason fouls down the baseline. And so we've got one strike, one out. And I think that's strike one. Strike two, 0-2. And I think there's a correction on our scoreboard. That's where I'm getting my information. It's coming over from folks over to my left.
Laredo has 10.
And it's Laredo 10, actually. 10-5. Mason Petrudis, the first baseman for Youngstown, trying to get on base here, trying to start a rally for the Ohio team. Facing off against Garcia, that's a shot to shortstop. Shortstop doesn't handle it well, and he's safe at first. One hopped it. Gomez stretching as far as he could stretch to keep that, to get that, and safe at first. Mason Petrudis, not the swiftest of runners that I could tell, was still able to get there safely. The shortstop bobbling the ball, dropped it, picked it up, and could not get it there on time. Number 26 coming to the plate, Ben Miller. Now batting number 26, Ben Miller. Miller is your designated hitter for Youngstown, Ohio. With a runner at first, one out. Miller squares off against Garcia, and it's a swing and a miss, foul ball. It's a foul tip. Youngstown, Ohio can never be counted out. I have seen them do some tremendous things. Gritty team. They will fight it out to the bitter end. So here we are at the bottom of the fifth, and they're trailing by 5. They'll need some of that magic today. That's down low in the dirt. Cepeda keeping that in front of him. Keeping the runner at bay, keeping him at first base there. 1-1 the count, one out. One runner on. Ben Miller, the DH, at the plate on this beautiful Saturday. And that's ball 2. ...2024 Pony Palomino World Series action coming to you live from Laredo, Texas. Veterans Field, brought to you by Southern Sanitation. Celebrating 50 years and a ball 3. The count 3-1 to Miller with a runner on. Celebrating 50 years of service. Sister company, Southern American, providing live Doppler radar. And that's a strike. So that'll be a full count. With one out, one runner on. Our scorebox sponsor, Kraus Development. Miller with a full count and one out. Runner at first. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is out number 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. Garcia with a little smile. Happy with the results of that. We'll now have Nick Pareto at the plate. Nick Pareto at the plate. And that's down in the dirt. Pareto, number 12, the second baseman. And again, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's P-A-R-R, and it looks like an O, and 2 T's and an O. So I hope I've got that right. If not, please feel free to come and pull on my ear and let me know how to pronounce that one. I got to tell you, though, bad handwriting. Got to see on the mound, Pareto at the plate, 2 outs, runner at first. Bottom of the 5th, Laredo leading 10-5. here at Veterans Field. Second game of the day, second day of the tournament. Oh, man, that was close inside. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, 1 runner on. Thank you to Otila's Restaurant, brand new restaurant open in Laredo. Great food, great reviews so far for Otila's. And that's a shot that's going to drop into center left. Here the runner is going to try to come in, and he's going to make it. And the runner and the batter runs into third. So a triple, knocking in a run. 52, Mason Petrudis crossing the plate. Pareto with a triple. And now at the plate, number 2, Aiden Leindecker. Now batting number 2, Aiden Leindecker. And so I got that one right. Thanks to the folks over from Youngstown, Ohio, who came up and gave me a hand with that one. One of our sponsors is Leindecker Construction, but that's spelled a little different. So I didn't get that right for Leindecker the first time, but we got it now. Aiden Leindecker at the plate with Garcia on the mound, and a runner at third. Youngstown, Ohio trailing 10-6 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Complete game for Pony 18U is 7 innings. So we got 2 frames to go. Chopping grounder, foul ball. But I'll tell you that Aiden Leindecker just showed off some wheels. Getting to first base in a hurry. Number 12, Nick Pareto, slapped a triple RBI into center left. Dropped right between the left fielder and the center fielder. Rolled all the way to the track. Drove in Mason Petrudis, the first baseman. And now it's 10-6. With a runner at third, 2 outs, 1-2 the count to Leindecker. Garcia winds, and that's in the dirt. 2-2 the count. I want to thank Andy's Mobility, Andy's Auto Air, and Sunbelt Air Conditioning. Great sponsors. 24/7 News, the Laredo Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the County of Webb, Judge Tano Tijerino, and that is strike 3, and that retires a side. Will leave somebody stranded on third base, but a run does score as they close the gap here, going into the top of the 6th, 10-6, Laredo. We'll be right back. And we are live here at the top of the sixth inning. Zyler Friedman on the mound for Youngstown, Ohio. And a grounder to short. Throw to first. Out number one, number 11, Jeremy Gabriel, grounding out the shortstop. And now coming to the plate should be Jerry Medina. Now batting number 12, Jerry Medina. Medina, the left fielder, has one out here. Zyler Friedman on the mound. And he takes ball one from Friedman. Thank you to our sponsors, 24/7 News. Over 40,000 followers on their channel. And that's a straight line shot to first base. Out number two. The first baseman, Mason Petrudis, stood still, put out his glove, and the ball came to him. Out number two. And so number 7 appears to be the batter now. There's some struggle to get a weight off the bat. And number 14 is our batter, Kike Loyola. Now batting number 14, Kike Loyola. Loyola, the second baseman for Laredo. On the mound, Zyler Friedman for Youngstown. Your catcher for Youngstown, Wes Conville. There are 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Looking for the count. It says 3-0, but I'm not sure that's right. And so that's 3-0. 3-0, 2 outs. Nobody on. Top of the 6th inning. Loyola at bat. Walks to first. Zyler thought that one was a strike. Kind of gave the home plate umpire, B. Roy Reyna, a little look. Number 7 at the plate now, Ricardo Covarrubias. Now batting number 7, Ricardo Covarrubias. Nice roll of my R's there. Covarrubias coming into the game for the first time. At the plate, Zyler Friedman on the mound in relief of Corbin Sevick, who pitched 3 solid innings. Laredo leads 10-6. I know on Game Changer you might be seeing 9-6, and there goes the runner. And a swing, strike 3 for Covarrubias.
Have you noticed something that every team?
So now we go to the bottom of the 6th. Laredo leading 10-6, and we'll be right back. And here we go. Bottom of the sixth. Number 14 coming to the plate for Youngstown, Ohio. Colby McGuire. Now batting number 14, Colby McGuire. Coming into the game for the first time, we're facing Arturo Garcia, who has pitched all 6 innings so far. And that's a grounder foul ball. Colby McGuire, substitution here, seeing first action coming off the bench, is facing Arturo Garcia for the first time. And that's a shot in between third and short. The shortstop keeps it from going out into left field, but moving away to his right, unable to get the ball back to first base in time. So Colby McGuire is at first with a single. No outs, 1 runner on, and number 17, Kalen Durbin, is coming on. And we are going to have a pitching change here.
Number 10?
Looks like number 10 is coming in. Number 10 is, I'm going to say it's Manuel Diaz Rodriguez or Manuel Ruiz Rodriguez. I really can't tell. You know what? I've got yesterday's lineup, which was written in much.
Manuel Luis Rodriguez. That's the way I see it.
You may be right, but I'm going to take a quick peek here. Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez. Yes. Looking at yesterday's lineup looks better in terms of handwriting.
Luis Rodriguez.
That is correct, sir. Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez coming on here in the top of the sixth as we are witnessing a pitching change. The left-hander, Rodriguez. I got to tell you that the handwriting on this lineup was better yesterday than it was today. I could read that name better. Went back to my notes, found him. Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez, relieving Arturo Garcia, who pitched almost six full innings for Laredo. Leaves with the score 10-6. And Rodriguez will be squaring off against number 17, Kalen Durbin, the left-hander, who's coming in. And here we go. Cepeda coming back to home plate. He's your catcher. Kalen Durbin, your batter for Youngstown, Ohio. And a new pitcher, number 10, Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez, coming in relief of Arturo Garcia, who had pitched from the start. Nobody out, 1 runner on, 10-6 Laredo. Rodriguez, the pitcher. And that's a shot down the third base line. Foul. Durbin, the batter, left-handed, number 17, putting that one down the edge. Foul. On the first pitch from the new pitcher, Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez. 0-1 the count, one runner on, nobody out. Oh, and the runner is out. Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez just caught him at first, fooled him into taking an extra step towards second before he picked him off, unable to get back to first. Colby McGuire thrown out at first. So Kalen Durbin trying to get on with one out, nobody on. Down 10-6 here in the bottom of the sixth. 7 innings is a complete game for Pony Palomino. And that's a strike. 1-1 the count, one out. Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez, the reliever, on the mound. Throws a fastball low, 2-1 the count. Durbin at the plate, number 17. And that's a foul ball. 2-2, top of the bottom of the sixth. Youngstown, Ohio trailing on a bright, overcast day here Saturday. The sun peering through the clouds. It is warm out there. Asked one of my cameramen. Got a little toasty yesterday. Looks like lobster today. And that's a high fly ball, foul. Catcher Cepeda trying to make a play. Close to the net. Almost. Great effort. Unable to get it. Full count now, 3-2. Excellent effort by the catcher. Off of the mask, quick off his feet, and running down towards that corner, almost had it. Laredo, known for its hot weather and its great food. And the batter takes one in the shoulder and will walk to first. So now we've got a runner at first, one out. Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez on the mound, and our batter, number 19, Brady McGuire. Now batter number 19, Brady McGuire. Inside, ball one. McGuire, earlier in the game, second frame, belts one over the left field wall. Grand slam, clears the bases. And that's a grounder to third. The speedy McGuire is safe at first, and the runner advances to third. McGuire almost beat the throw, but the first baseman dropped the ball. Had he held on, it would have been out at first, but he dropped it, and the runner advances to third, and we have a runner at third and first, and number one, Tyler Skeen, walks into the batter's box. Looking at some scores, some runs. Tyler Skeen, number one, at the plate. Tyler Skeen trying to close the gap here. Take strike one from Rodriguez, the lefty. First time Skeen is facing Rodriguez, who came in relief of Arturo Garcia, who pitched 6 solid innings. Bottom of the sixth. And that is ball one. 1-1 the count. One out, runners at third and first. Wind is picking up a little bit. Swing, strike two for the batter, Tyler Skeen. Tyler Skeen, playing shortstop for Youngstown, Ohio, has 2 runners on only one out and is looking to bring some runs in. 2-2. Ball outside. Skeen has a set of wheels as well. Fast runner. Shortstop with a great arm. Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez has a really deceptive first step and was able to pick off one of the runners earlier and almost got this one too. And there goes the runner. Swing and a miss, strike three. But the runner steals second, so now we have runners at third and second. And number 7, Tommy Cordy, is coming to the plate. Now batting number 7, Tommy Cordy. Cordy is your center fielder for Youngstown. Facing Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez for the first time. Number 44, courtesy runner, stepping in at the third base. So runner at third and second. Cordy at the plate, and it's a grounder to shortstop. Shortstop making the grab for out number 3 and to keep runs from coming in. Great defensive play by the shortstop. Cannon for an arm. Good catch by Gamis over at first to end the inning. And so here we go to the 7th, with Laredo leading 10-6. And we'll be right back after this brief message.
Celebrating 50 years of service. Doing its part in helping keep the community clean. Call Southern Sanitation at 956-723-3333 and let us help you manage all your waste disposal needs. Southern Sanitation, celebrating 50 years of service.
And here we are at the top of the 7th inning, the last frame, with Laredo leading 10-6. And number 1, Ramon de Alba, coming into the batter's box, and he takes strike 1. Or is I can't see that number just yet, but it looks like de Alba. 1-1, the count. Here at the top of the 7th with nobody on, no outs. Number 1, grounder to third, third to first, out number 1. A grounder by de Alba registers out number 1. Now coming to the plate, number 6, top of the order, Cito Benavides. Now batting number 6, Cito Benavides. Benavides, great base runner, lots of speed, playing third base for Laredo. Zyler Friedman on the mound, and that's a grounder to short. Shortstop picks it up, fires it first, out number 2. So 2 outs here in the top of the 7th as this frame is moving quickly. Hector's so excited, waiting to go back to that 4-diamond hotel, La Posada, and take a snooze. Number 4, Antonio Sanchez at bat.
Now batting number 4, Antonio Sanchez.
Zyler Friedman on the mound. Delivers strike number 1 to Sanchez here at the top of the 7th. With 2 outs and nobody on, Laredo leads Youngstown, Ohio 10-6. That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 95 degrees here in Laredo, Texas. Wind is picking up a little bit. I see Old Glory waving in the back there. Overcast skies. Doppler radar brought to you by Southern American, live Doppler radar. And that's a strike. Roy Reyna making that signal. So that's outside. That's a full count, 3-2 with 2 outs to Antonio Sanchez, the center fielder. And that's high. He's going to walk Sanchez. So what looked like was going to be a quick top half of the frame as a runner at first, and number 13, Gamis, the first baseman, coming to bat.
Now batting number 13, Joey Gamis.
Gamis, the first baseman, left-hander. And we've got a new pitcher on the mound, I think, number 44, Jimmy Rowe. I knew we had a pitcher change. He didn't look like Zyler Friedman. Whoa! Ho! Gamis hitting the deck there. So we do have a pitching change. It is Jimmy Rue, R-U-E, that is pitching for Youngstown, Ohio. My apologies. We didn't get that early on. Folks over at Game Changer who take in the substitutions, asleep at the wheel. And that is foul ball down the first base line. Jimmy Rue, number 44, pitching in relief of Zyler Friedman, who was relieving Corbin Sevick. Sevick had a good couple of innings. That's a foul ball. 1-2 the count with 2 outs. Runner on first base. Joey Gamis, first baseman, trying to add to the lead. 10-6 here for Laredo. Youngstown, Ohio, trying to close the door here. And that's a blooper into center field, and the center fielder is not going to get there. The left fielder picks it up. Runner stops at second. RBI double for Joey Gamis. And now the score is 11-6. With 2 outs in the top of the 7th, number 20 steps to the plate, Juan Carlos Cepeda.
Now batting number 20, Juan Carlos Cepeda.
Jimmy Rue giving up a double. RBI double to Joey Gamis. The center fielder stretched out all he could and could not get that, and that ball rolled all the way to the fence, and the left fielder threw it in. Oh, line shot to third base. McGuire with a golden glove out there ends the inning for Laredo, and they will come to bat bottom half of the 7th, trailing 11-6. Never count Youngstown, Ohio out. They have been known to win games in dramatic fashion at the tail end. If you want to see that happen, look at YouTube last year's game with Laredo and Youngstown. Youngstown winning that game at the last at bat with bases loaded, full count. Birthday boy Jack Lute slapping one down the line all the way to the wall, scoring 3 runs, and Youngstown wins. Last year's champion, Youngstown, Ohio, now come to their last at bat in hopes of tying or forcing the game into extra innings or winning the game. Let's take a quick look at Doppler radar and see what's happening out there. Doppler radar brought to you by Southern American. This is a live Doppler radar that has a 50-year radius, a 50-mile radius, filling a 50-year-old gap that existed here. So, see a little bit of rain out there in the kind of the northeast of us, but nothing here in Laredo. We're looking really good. When the forecast said that we're going to have rain, yesterday was supposed to be 100% chance, not a drop. And today we're at 55, I think, in the forecast. And we haven't seen rain-bearing cloud just yet. We do have overcast skies, sun peering through. It's 95 degrees, and here we're going to get ready to start the bottom of the 7th. Number 10, Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez, will try to close out the game with number 52, Mason Petrudis, coming to bat. Now batting number 52, Mason Petrudis. Petrudis is your first baseman, Youngstown. And he will face off with Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez, a lefty, who was brought in relief of Arturo Garcia. And that's a foul ball right over towards the Tiger sign. The Veterans Field is the home of the Martin High School Tigers. Once a Tiger, always a Tiger. And that's ball 1. 1-1 the count. Nobody on, no outs. Bottom of the 7th, the last inning. And Mason shoots one right over the shortstop. And the shortstop just timed it a little off and was unable to get it. So single for Mason Petrudis. So runner at first, number 26 coming to the plate. Ben Miller. Now batting number 26, Ben Miller. Ben Miller is your designated hitter, and he takes ball 1 from Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez. No outs, 1 ball, 1 runner on. Bottom of the 7th inning, and Youngstown, Ohio, trying to make a little bit of that magic that they've displayed over the years here in the big show. Miller swings, strike 1. Nice pitch there by Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez to Miller, the designated hitter. And Petrudis taking a quick lead off of first, goes back. Rodriguez has a really deceptive first step and has picked off a runner already. And Miller shoots one into the left field, and that one hits the wall, and the runner's going to hold at second. Oh, the ball goes over the third baseman, the cutoff man, the shortstop. Not sure what he was trying to prove or what he was trying to do, but he flung that over the second baseman, and it rolled out into right field, and we have a double for Ben Miller, and Mason Petrudis is on third. So no outs, 2 runners on, and Nick Parado is coming to the plate. Now batting number 12, Nick Parado. Parado, the second baseman, has 2 runners on, and he takes strike 1 from Miguel Ruiz Rodriguez. Little magic brewing here for Youngstown with 2 runners on. And Parado at the plate. And that's outside. Oh! Mr. Reyna called that one a strike. From where I saw, that looked like it was somewhere over in Hebronville. Wide to the right. And that's a fly ball to right field. That may drop in the field of play. It does. It's out number 1. And here comes the runner. Thrown out by the right fielder, number 11, Jeremy Gabriel. Petrudis, not your speediest runner, gets tagged out at home for out number 2. And we have a runner at third. Number 2, Aiden Leindecker, is the last at bat. Now batting number 2, Aiden Leindecker. Leindecker with a runner on. No runs, trailing 6-10. And a little bit of sloppy base running. Petrudis gets caught at home. Right fielder with a cannon shot right to Cepeda, the catcher. And that's a shot over second. That's going to score. That's going to roll all the way to the track, to the wall. Here comes the runner. They're going to hold him at third. And Aiden Leindecker, RBI triple, makes the score 11-7. Number 21, Blake Jeffries, will now step in. Now batting number 21, Blake Jeffries, with a runner at third, 2 outs, trailing 11-7 in the last inning. Swing and a miss for Jeffries. Number 2, Aiden Leindecker, driving in a run, closing that gap. And that's a ball. Now that one to me looked like a strike. Reyna, the home plate umpire, and that's a fly ball. That one's going to drop right into the glove of the center fielder, and that is game. Your host team, Laredo, your visitor, defeats last year's champion, Youngstown, Ohio, the home team, 11-7. And that will do it for a couple hours. We're going to take a long break. We'll be back at 6 o'clock for the first game of the evening, and we'll have another game at 8:30. We've known that these games at 8:30 go long, so unfortunately it could be a long day. But we'll be right back in about 4 hours, 3.5, and start our broadcast again. Thank you for joining us. Drive home safely if you're headed home. We'll see you back at Veterans Field. And we're out.